Hey everyone, it's Lindsay Baker with Action Hour, and tonight Erin DeMarinas is here with me. She is the CVO, Chief Vegan Officer of Efit Foods and creator of eBar.
Three
Erin,
bar.
thanks so much for being here. We are so excited. I would like to just dive right in and have you talk about you're a fitness coach, you're a nutrition expert, you're a food developer, and you're an entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit, just jump in and tell us a little bit about your journey, if you would.
That is a lot of hats, isn't it?
It is.
A lot of hats. I mean, I started out so many years ago as a personal trainer, and my love for fitness has always been at my core foundation. I even in college, my senior year of college, I wrote that I would open up a health and fitness center just to help people get healthier. It's just something that's in my blood. I'm a runner, I'm a triathlete, I was a fitness model. So much of my life has been about fitness and health. And the older I get, the more I want to even dive in deeper to it because I see the benefits of it personally and then with the people that I work with. So it's just a big part of my life. So I still do health coaching. I still help people with their diets. I still have personal training clients that are, just trying to get healthier. And it's just a part of who I am and what I want to give out.
Wow, that is so amazing. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this new kind of mushroom that is out. And I understand that the products that you have just launched, or you've launched recently, I should say, contain them. And you're even going further with it. So can you talk? Yes, yes. Hold that up to the camera for a minute. Yeah, great. So that's the plant-powered pop. Tell us about that wonderful popcorn that you have created and why it's so special, if you would.
Well, who doesn't love popcorn? I mean, it's
Right.
crunchy, it's got fiber, it's basically one ingredient, unless you're adding something horrible to it. And a lot of people will make, bad choices when it comes to popcorn with all the butter and salt and oil. But I've perfected a way to make it healthier. So I am learning a lot about adaptogens, and it's really important for people to understand what it is, because I get that question all the time. What are adaptogens? And if you just think about the word adapt, that's what it is. It helps your body adapt to stress. If you have trouble sleeping, anxiety, all these things, there are ingredients that we can use that helps our body fight all those things. So adapt naturally, like maca, ginseng, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is my favorite. And I've perfected that so you don't taste any of that in this popcorn snack. It tastes like vegan bacon because all of my products are always plant-based and always balanced. So this is my newest snack, and it has 6 grams of plant protein, and it also has these adaptogens that I was just talking about. And again, they're just really important. So if you see, you're going to start seeing ingredients like this pop up in snacks. The chaga.
Yeah, and I'd like to just jump in and get a little more geeky on the subject, if you can.
Yes,
And then we're going to come back and talk about how people can get your products and get in touch with you and all that good stuff. So if you could talk a little bit about the different kinds, I can see there's so many, and I had no idea that Asian ginseng is actually considered one. So could you talk a little bit about the different ones, if you could?
Sure. Well, ashwagandha is really, I would say, the one that really helps with stress. I take 2 of those every morning. It's been studied. It's scientific proof. It's not just my philosophy or my opinion that ashwagandha is one of those herbs that helps you deal with stress. And then yes, we all need it, right? Just the stress of just life. But people have issues with sleeping, and that also causes stress. So ashwagandha in the morning is what I prefer. And then there's other adaptogens that you can take throughout the day, and other herbs like turmeric and different kinds of mushroom. And like maca is a really good one, and chaga. These are different mushrooms. They have different properties that can help with things that you are suffering from. So
can you get a little more specific on a couple of those? I think this is so fascinating, and I'm sure my audience is just thrilled to learn about this.
Yes,
So,
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead. Maca and
Ginseng, yes. So maca, it comes in many forms, right? Maca,
yeah.
it can come in a powder. So you will start to see it in different products. And again, that does help with fighting off stress and anxiety and sleep. The most important one, though, to me is the ashwagandha for stress. But then, like ginseng has some good properties too that also help with stress. So I would say chaga, maca, and ginseng are probably your top. But there's, so many others that I'm still learning more about. But those are the three
Wow.
that I've studied the most and have learned the most and have been using the most in a lot of my supplements and a lot of my products.
Do
So, good.
do any of them help with muscle when you're working out, recovery?
Well, yes, think about what exercise does to our body. We put stress on our body. If we lift weights, we go for a run or a swim or whatever it is, you're putting stress on your muscles, even stress on your bones if you're doing weightlifting, right? So those are stressors in our bodies. So these adaptogens help our bodies deal with stress. So yes, they would help with your recovery.
That's amazing. And what about for focus?
For focus, I would say probably the best one for focus is going to be ginseng. That's what it's, the ginseng's, if you've ever done any research or you've heard about it, you'll see it a lot in Chinese and herbal medicines. Ginseng is one of
Mhm.
those ones that you will hear about that does help with focus. Yeah. And a little bit in clarity and the brain fog. So yeah, those are certainly helpful in those when you have those types of stress in your life.
That's
We all need
amazing.
help with that.
We have so many things to talk to you about, and I just wanted to show people a couple of clips. You're on Bloom TV, okay, often, and
Yeah.
that's Channel 8 in Tampa, Florida, right? Correct?
WFLA. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's watch a clip.
Carrot, celery, and hummus, or either carrots and celery with some organic peanut butter. So these things will leave you full, but not stuffed, and in balance. So you won't have that feeling of like, oh, I really didn't have anything. So it doesn't leave you like, oh, I need to reach for something else.
A real quick question. You mentioned like pairing blueberries with the walnuts.
Right.
Why put those two together?
Very good question. Well, blueberries basically, they do have a small amount of protein, but it's minute, right? So they're basically just carbs, right? Mm-hmm. But they're filled with what? Antioxidants, vitamins, really good nutrients for our body, brain food, things that we need. So if you just ate them alone, right, you're basically giving yourself a little bit of a sugar spike. But if you pair it with a nut, which has protein, right, then now you're making that, and fat, and good fats, the essential fats. Actually, walnuts have the highest amount of omega-3s. So that pairing together will give you that balance. And so then you won't feel like, again, like I haven't had anything that's leaving me wanting something else and making a bad choice.
All right, so you developed a popcorn. It's a vegan-based popcorn. I would imagine that popcorn's no longer vegan when it has butter and different toppings on it.
Correct. Right. So most of the, like if you go to, actually I think movie theater popcorn doesn't have, I think it is vegan. I'd have to check.
Okay.
But popcorn is one of those snacks, like I don't know if you, like me, I love to snack on salty things.
Yeah, I do love salty.
And crunchy.
Mm-hmm. Me
Well,
same.
so I developed a popcorn that this is a vegan popcorn, but popcorn is filled with fiber, and a lot of times we are fiber insufficient, which is amazing to me that most people focus so much on the protein, they forget about the fiber, which is why, well, like I said back here with the fruit and nut combination, having that fiber content then keeps you full. So if people can introduce that into their diets and think about fiber, then it's going to keep you more full and satiated. So the popcorn is great. It's fun. It's crunchy. You get it flavored. And it can be a really healthy snack if you obviously don't eat, a huge amount of it.
Right. I know you also develop bars and things like that, but for people making things at home for themselves, I mean, you're a big believer in working together healthy grains, healthy cacao, getting all the things that keep you feeling full, but they're still like for the more maybe
Still
the
tasty.
sweet, the savory and sweet
Yes.
folks. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We're going to watch another clip in a little while, but I'm sure my audience wouldn't hate it if you gave us a couple more tips about snacking, and we want to talk some more about your product, but talk a couple more combinations, and then we'll go back to the popcorn. I want to know how it evolved, etc. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we all love to snack, and I'm a big proponent of always having snacks in the house that I can open up the refrigerator and I can go, oh yeah, there's some strawberries. or there's some blueberries, because those are the two best berries as far as your brain
Ooh.
function. Good for you, good for memory, and good antioxidants, and tastes great. But if you are only eating fruit, you might not feel kind of like you had a complete snack. And I always talk about eating in balance. We want to have our carbs, we want to have our protein, and we want to have our fat. Because when you eat in balance, then you feel satiated and you won't make a poor choice. You will feel like satisfied. And so a lot of the clients that I work with, and over the years, getting people on a healthier kick, we will talk about what to pair. And I always say fruit and nut is a great snack, a great pairing, especially walnuts, as you saw in that clip. They have the highest amount of omega-3s. That's huge. Brazil nuts have selenium, which is something that for vegans can be hard to get sometimes. So any kind of nut and fruit combination to me works really well. Or if you're not a huge fruit fan, how about some celery and some peanut butter, or celery and hummus, or carrots and hummus, or carrots and peanut butter? I think if you can just wrap your brain around just snacking smart and having something that's really healthy, that you know where it came from, more of a whole food. And nuts or peanut butter is basically another whole food too. It's just basically ground nuts. And if you eat like that without eating too much peanut butter, so you're not too high in calories, I think you can really create this balanced snack that leaves you feeling satisfied. And I think that's a huge part of what people are not doing, right? Is, they'll reach for some fruit, and then 20 minutes later, they're like, I didn't eat anything. I feel like I still need something. And then they maybe would make a poor choice, as you saw in that clip. A lot of people do that. So if you can really eat in balance, I think that is I know that's a better way to prepare your body for having something that leaves you satiated, content. And it's that crunchy, salty snack combination I think is really good, or salty sweet if you do it with fruit. I think that's a great way to snack.
That's awesome. We have a question from Tom Vincel saying, please ask her what's best. Yes, Tom, by the way, I saw your other comment. I am live, as I think you can see now. What's best for you after yoga class? Thanks. And I think you're kind of answering that with the recovery foods, right? Yeah. The mushrooms. But yeah, go ahead and answer that if you would.
Especially if you do like a hot yoga class, it's something that's really taxing on the body and you really sweat, depending on, or a power yoga class, right? So these types of classes can, first of all, leave you a little bit dehydrated, especially if you're in a room of 105 degrees. I love hot yoga. I do it all the time. So the first thing you would obviously would be to drink some water and hydrate yourself. But then I would go for that, like my next snack that's coming out, which is like an energy bite, which has got like nuts and fruit together. Yep. Yeah. So something like that, where you're not really eating a lot, you're just putting really nutrient dense ingredients into your system that your body will recognize and not have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out. It's not processed. These are nuts and peanut butter and healthy adaptogens, again, that your body was just stressed out taking a yoga class, and you're going to help with repairing it. So, and then it's not too caloric dense, right? There are 12 grams of protein if you ate 3 of them. So that would be considered eating a little, energy bar. So you could have 1 or 2 right after a yoga class, and then still like 2 hours later or an hour later have a meal without actually like eating too many calories. So it's a good balance. I'm all about the balance.
That's amazing. And you need balance when you're an entrepreneur. And that kind of leads me to my next question. I wanted you to talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and the fact that your products are now sold. You're coming out with some new ones, but right now your products are being sold in 60 different locations across the Southwest US. That's really exciting. And I wanted to ask you talk about the journey and how it came to the point now with these bites, you're going to actually be bringing that back home. So that whole, go ahead. You know what I want you to talk about. Go ahead.
Well, so I started with the energy bar in my kitchen so long ago, 1997. I was making my grandmother's cookie recipe. One of my personal training clients in LA loved it, but she said, your cookies are making me fat. I'm your personal training client. Can you make them healthier for me? And so I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I was still in school and still taking nutrition classes and wasn't really exactly sure if I could pull it off, but it worked. And then she bought some. And then she told her friend, and next thing I know, I was making them every single night. It was just this
Wow.
crazy story of how the 3 bar was born. And now I'm actually not just in 60 locations, I'm actually nationwide. I'm in most Lifetime
Wow.
Fitnesses across the United States.
How
So
cool is that?
yeah, maybe where you're from too. There might, if there's
Los Angeles.
a Lifetime Fitness, you could probably buy them there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah. And
Can they
so,
be bought online too? Just I'll let you continue, but can you
yeah.
purchase online? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
On my
cool.
website, efitfoods.com. Yep. And then
Great.
the new products. This is my newest product. This is 3 Bar Bites. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why this sort of came about was because I have a factory that produces my bars, but they are in Spokane, Washington. And I wanted to make something here locally so that I could add the adaptogens. These are ingredients that I don't have in the bar right now, but I really wanted to include them. And so it's really hard just to fly out to Spokane, Washington to work in the factory. I needed a kitchen here. So we've rented a commercial space and we've just perfected our first recipe. So it's very similar to the Cocoa Crunch, which is dark chocolate and peanut butter. But now I've added those adaptogens, and I keep bringing that up because it's really important for our body's way of dealing with stress. So now the adaptogens will be in the 3 Bar Bites, along with many other good things, hemp hearts and walnuts and dark chocolate, organic dark chocolate and peanut butter, and all with a little bit of organic sea salt sprinkled on the top of it. It's just a really good, well-balanced snack, a little salty, a little sweet, and it's filling without, adding too many calories to your diet, but getting you that right balance again of protein, carbs, and fat. So I cannot wait. I can't wait for it to.
Sorry,
I can't
go ahead.
I can't wait for it to be live on the website. It should be in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, we'll keep that in mind. I will definitely go on and purchase them. They make my mouth water. They look so delicious. And the bars as well. Now, is that's one of I thought this was a trick photo for a little bit, and that it was not a trick, but a mirrored image of you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Have you gotten that before from people thinking? But it's your client.
This is one of my friends who's into fitness too, and she came with me on this photo shoot.
Oh my gosh, you guys look so much alike.
She's really fit.
Yeah, you both look amazing. I'll bring back this picture over here. Oh my gosh, your arms are just so enviable. Here's another shot here of you guys from the back. And it is such a great thing to share with friends, isn't it? I mean, it's a way to bring us together. There's so much violence in the world. And I think part of that, at least my opinion, is it comes because people allow stress to build up. So all of the things that you're doing, the fitness, the bars with the adaptogens and how this helps with stress, so important right now. And I just want to make sure that everybody shares out this video and tells everyone to watch, because this is really important, and to check out your website as well. Maybe we should go there to your website right now.
Sure.
And let's see if I can get a full screen here. And I'm going to head over here, and maybe you could just direct me around if you want to kind of navigate us around your website a little bit, and I'll click.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It talks about the energy bars, and you can order them online, and we're getting ready to add the popcorn. I think the popcorn is already on there. And then if you go to products, it popcorn should pop up, I think. Let's see, plant powered.
There it is.
Yeah, you can buy it right now.
And it's bacon spice.
It's vegan bacon.
No. I know it's vegan bacon, but it's bacon spice. Is that? Can you tell us a little bit about that, the flavor and how that all came about?
Well, I don't want people who aren't vegan to be turned off by it. So I thought, let me make a popcorn snack that would appeal to carnivores. And maybe if they eat it and they say, wow, this is really good, then maybe that would be like a light bulb moment for somebody to say, wow, if I can eat something like this and it tastes similar to bacon, but it's not, and it's healthier and I feel good because, again, there's adaptogens in it, it's going to make them feel better. then maybe that would
Ooh.
just spark a little bit of someone's interest to head more to a plant-based lifestyle, which is always, my foundation for my coaching and working with clients, is to try to get them at least to become more plant forward.
Well, I'm sold. I'm going to go over to, I'm not just saying this, I'm going to go over and buy some and try that popcorn because I'm just beginning to understand a little about the mushrooms. And of course, as a vegan, everything, is the plants can provide us with everything we need. And
Exactly.
I think there's a little bit, you talk about that in one of the clips. Let's play another clip. I'm not sure if it's that one where you talk about that. If not, you can talk about it. It's the big ass salad.
Vitamins. We throw it right into the bowl. I've already cleaned it, which takes about a few seconds. But the key to kale, to take that kind of gritty, fibrous kind of toughness off the skin, is a few little drizzles of olive oil. That's it. And then we're going to massage it. Now, my kale always loves that. I mean, who doesn't need a good massage? But while you're doing this, if you could also, at the same time, then tear it into little pieces, so then when you go to eat it, it's not hanging out of your mouth, which happens quite often. But that helps to get that fibrous kind of toughness off of it and just makes it more palatable. And it's really good and high in antioxidants, helps remove unwanted toxins from our body. So kale is an ingredient you should definitely introduce into your big ass bowl that I'm making, but into your diet too. Once the kale is massaged, and how long did that take? I don't know, 10 seconds? The next ingredient in my big ass bowl is quinoa. Now, quinoa is so high in protein and fiber, and it contains all 9 essential amino acids, but I've already cooked it ahead of time. Do you know how easy it is to cook quinoa? You just pour it into a pan, 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water. You boil it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then you just put a lid on it, and you just let it sit for 5 minutes. Then you fluff it with a fork. And then I keep mine in the refrigerator because I like a cold big ass bowl. But if you want a warm big ass bowl, you can serve it right away. So that goes on next. And it's already getting pretty. After the quinoa, one of my favorite vegetables, red peppers. Do you know why red peppers are so red? They are red because they are on the vine the longest out of all the peppers. Now, who would have known that? They're also really great in vitamin C, and they are also a really good source of vitamin A too. So you just chop them up. And again, if you are cooking quinoa while you're doing this, then just go ahead and prep some of these vegetables ahead of time. Make your life easier. That way you can portion this out for yourself or for your family, for lunches for a week or for 4 days. And it just makes life easier.
Well, that's what we want. Easier life. Life's stressful enough. So
Right.
that is just
I'm all about the meal prepping.
right. You want to give us a little more, some more hints of, combining different things in the bowl. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yes. So almost every single day, my lunch is that big ass bowl that we were just watching that clip. And I just love to rotate what's in season because that's really important. Like today I had a purple potato that I cooked and then cooled and then chopped that up and put that into the salad so that you're getting, again, more fiber, more antioxidants, all those nutrients. Think of that purple color as like nutrient dense food. The more nutrient dense food we have, right, the more we're feeding our microbiome, if that makes sense to you, if you understand about our microbiome. So the stronger and more diverse that we feed the plants to our microbiome, the more we are going to be healthier, feeling better, more energy, our skin is better. All these things are important. And we also ward off, our immune system is much healthier. And I think people mistake that and think, what's the difference if I just eat some romaine? Well, romaine's good too. But if you can start to incorporate some of those dark leafy greens, they're really nutrient dense. And those are the kinds of vegetables that you should be adding to every bit of your meal. Throw some care. I mean, if you could see how I make a salad every day, it's like a work of art. But it's my one big thing that I break my fast with. And I have, add chickpeas to it, or lentils, or black beans, the potato, avocado, carrots, celery, peppers, dates. I mean, just whatever you can think of that you like. And that's sort of what my meal is for lunch. And then a lot of times I'll make enough and split it in half, put a little bit left over. And if I'm hungry before dinner, I've got something healthy to have a few bites of before I prepare dinner. So it's just helpful to think ahead.
Yes. Let me ask you a couple of more questions. Have you ever noticed, or I've heard this sort of a myth, but walnuts are good for your brain, right? And they say that foods that if you slice them in half and you look inside, it actually looks kind of like a brain, because cauliflower. Have you heard that, or is that just kind of a myth?
No, I have heard that, but if
It
you
is.
think about it, the human brain is sort of like hard jello, if you were to think about what it would be like. But if you unraveled all the neurons and all the vascular system of our brain, it's like 40 miles. It's crazy. So there's all these really teeny tiny portions of the way it's made up. And so the more healthy you eat, right, the more we're giving that brain good energy. And I think that people forget that this is attached to the rest of us. So if you're like trying to trick your body into like, hey, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to starve myself of this and no carbs and all that stuff, you're also starving this, which is attached to your body. We can't take it off and then eat one way and think it's not going to affect us, right? It's all connected. And I think we forget about that because we're always paleo and keto and no carbs, this, and you're really missing out on the good brain foods and also foods that keep you full longer. And if you're eating something that's going to keep you full, then you might make better choices in your other meals.
That sounds really logical and makes
Yes.
a lot of sense. I also wanted to ask you, or just bring back up the fact that kale draws and removes toxins. We have so much pollutants in our body. I interviewed two folks last year from Malibu. They said only buy organic because it is just scary. And so, what other foods help to remove toxins?
Well, most of your plant-based foods are going to help you with that, right? Because they're just, think of more, first of all, they have all essential amino acids. So you are feeding your body that good plant protein. They're always going to have more nutrients than other, like chicken or fish or meat, because those are basically dead, right? The foods that are plant-based are more alive. And if you're eating salads every day and including, some whole grains and all those healthy things, you're going to be healthier all around. So your body will then be healthier. Again, back to the microbiome, right? We're feeding our microbiome, which helps with our immunity. So you're going to help get rid of unwanted toxins that come into our body no matter what. You're just walking down the street, you're going to breathe that air, and you're going to be in and out of a store and touching things. And it's just our body's way of getting toxins on a daily basis. You can't really ward them off. But I tell you, since I've been plant-based for a long time, the more deep I get into it and the healthier that I eat, the healthier my body has been just all around. Just my immunity, my skin, my sleep, my stress. And it's like, I wish people could really understand that. And if you're watching right now and you can take one thing away from this little talk that we're having, it's those types of changes that you can make in your diet. You think you can't do it, but when you start to feel the way that I feel all the time, it's like, I want to give you that gift. Like it is the way I walk around feeling so good that I want other people to feel that too. And it's not like I don't drink wine every once in a while or have something bad. I have a birthday, I'm going to have champagne and a birthday cake and all that stuff. It would be still vegan, but the way I feel and my energy level is tremendously noticeably better because of the way I eat. And I think people maybe don't make that a connection.
Yes, that's really important. But it's also important to enjoy your food. So I'm going to now show the clip of the vegan quiche recipe.
The vish.
But we'll never know it once we taste it.
No, you cannot tell the difference. Basically, anything you can think of that you already eat that's not vegan, there's a vegan version, right? So why not just dive in?
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite dishes to make is we call it a viche, which is a vegan quiche.
Cool.
And it doesn't use eggs. It uses a product that is just an egg substitute, but it's so healthy for you and so easy to make. So
yeah, I've tried that new substitute, and it's unbelievable to me how much it tastes like eggs.
right.
All right. So how do we get started?
So you would basically just cook all your ingredients, and I just chopped everything up so you would know how easy it is.
Okay.
And again, you can always make a quiche however you want, but my favorite recipe is to use like an avocado oil because it's a high heat, and then you saute your onions, you saute your mushrooms, and my secret ingredient is just using a little bit of bouillon that is unchicken bouillon.
Okay.
And that gives it that really good flavor, and then you don't have to add like 20 different spices.
That's a great pro tip.
Yeah, and then you just add in your vegan sausage, which I use a hot Italian to give it a little kick.
A little kick. I like that.
A little garlic. Saute all that together, and when your ingredients come out, you just spoon them into your egg mixture. Now, in this, I use the quiche dish because if you have a big family and you're using quiche as, say, a Sunday brunch, what a better way to present it. But I made some mini quiches for this segment. So you would just spoon the ingredients, all the ingredients that you cooked, all together, right in there. And then add a few other things, which one of my favorites is Kalamata olives, always organic, and then some vegan feta cheese.
And you said that this feta cheese, which I haven't tried, I am a vegan in the family, and I'm really leaning in. I haven't tried this, but
Oh my God.
wow.
My husband is Greek, and he even says this is really good.
That is really good.
Yeah. So, and he likes his really spicy, so I like to add a little jalapenos to his. But you can do whatever you want, whatever vegetables.
I'm shocked at how much that tastes like feta cheese.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got that creamy, milky, salty, like
It's perfect. So once you saute everything and you mix it in the bowl.
400 degrees
Okay.
for 25 minutes. And so I made the mini quiches
Okay.
because to me it's way more fun, especially if you're cooking at home with kids, right? Then they can kind of pick each one and
I
they can
love
add
this.
whatever ingredients they want.
I love this. Can I scoop one of them out?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Thank you. So this is great. Now, I have kids ranging from 14 to 23, and it's amazing to me in the last several years just how much more has hit the market as more people jump on to the vegan trend.
Right?
Is this something that you've been practicing for quite some time now?
Yes, I mean, I've been vegan for 20 years. So when I first started out, there was nothing. I mean,
Right.
there was no vegan meats. There was some vegan.
Oops, cut off a little more quick than I thought. Wow, that recipe. Now, I just want to ask one more question. The only thing you put in was just egg? There was no flour in the, wow.
No. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could definitely do like a more of like a crust if you wanted to, but I always, serve some whole grain toast with it. But that recipe is really good because you can just make it what you want. Like my husband loves the jalapeno, so I always put that in his, and some spicy pepper jack cheese, Kalamata olives. I mean, it's just so easy. And then you just pop them out, and they're just like these cute little quiches. It's also fun and easy to make.
Yeah, and you said calamara, like you're Italian. Are you? May I ask? I already knew. I saw it. So am I. So we have that in common. But yeah, like the same foods. Yes, exactly. Wow. So I know the Vitalife feta cheese is amazing.
Oh, so good.
We're actually a half hour, so I want to give you some time to talk about anything you'd like to. Of course, your products, your website, all that stuff. Please give us a recap of that, but I'm going to give the floor over to you now.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Well, we mentioned the popcorn earlier, and I just want everybody to know that they can get on the website now. It is very tasty. It's got that salty, crunchy, but balanced and healthy snack. So you don't really feel like you're missing out on something that's, not, something that's so healthy that it doesn't taste good. Like I designed this so that carnivores would be like, oh, I could eat this. I don't have to be vegan, right? Well, no, you don't have to be vegan. I'm always trying. No one's diet is perfect, right? So if you can just incorporate more things that taste good and then satisfy your, what you're craving, like who doesn't love popcorn, right? We love salty, buttery popcorn. So this is kind of what this is. And then the energy, the 3-bar bites, with adaptogens, dark chocolate, walnuts, hemp seeds, some sea salt. Those will be on the website in probably about 2 weeks, maybe even less. And again, just full of adaptogens and those things that are good for you, but you can't taste them. It just helps you to deal with life's stress. Whether it's your job, you have issues sleeping, all anxiety, just things that we deal with on a daily basis. These ingredients that are going to help you deal with those stresses.
Would you eat those for breakfast? Like a couple of those? Is that, and kind of get you kind of going in the morning, feeling good?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're going to give you energy from the good, healthy omega-3s and the walnuts and the hemp hearts. And they taste good. And like, what if you're not a big breakfast eater? I'm not a big breakfast eater. Just pop one of these in with a cup of coffee and you're good to go. And you've just eaten something you're starting off your digestive system with something healthy. Right. So first water, and then have one of these in your coffee. And I think you'd be good to go. You'd have good energy, and you know that you're putting something in your body that was balanced and also really healthy and tasty. Awesome. Let's not forget about taste. Taste is really important.
Yes, we love the tasty part.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if people want to reach you, they should go to the website. Is that the best way? And also your email, I didn't know if you wanted to show that or not. I don't remember.
Sure. Erin, okay. Efit Foods.
Yeah. Right. So get in touch with Erin. Thank you so much. Oh, the cookbook. Wait.
Oh, the
because
cookbook.
I was going to say, how can people get more information of these recipes? Seriously, I want more recipes. And so we're going to do a cooking show with you.
Yes.
But we also want to hear about the cookbook. So let's go ahead and do that.
So the cookbook was supposed to be launched November 1st. It got away from me a little bit, but it should maybe hit the shelves on hopefully January 1. And it's basically a recipe, a cookbook about what you like and how to veganize it. Just like you saw the clip with me doing the vegan quiche. Like, who doesn't love a good eggy quiche, cheesy eggy quiche on the weekend, right? But I've made it so it's healthier. So it's kind of like it follows suit to that. Like, basically I'm veganizing a lot of recipes that you already like, but you aren't able to eat because you are plant-based, or maybe you just want to lean in a little bit more to a plant-based lifestyle and you don't know where to get started. So there'll be some really easy recipes and good swaps. And just to make it easy for the average person who is just trying to eat a little bit healthier, but maybe do something that's a little fun. Like, they don't know how to do a vegan quiche, or they don't know how to make lentil meatballs. Like, that seems foreign, right? So it's just an easy way, and all the recipes are really easy and simple ingredients, all that you can find in most of your grocery stores. So it's not like I'm having somebody go out, you have to go to an Asian market to get this ingredient. To me, that seems, unattainable and like too many steps. And then people are going to be kind of like, oh, that's a lot to do. Let's make it easy. Like, I want you to lean into a plant-based lifestyle because it's easy and it's better for you. So that's my goal. Yeah, and it's fun. Let's veganize everything.
And vegans are just the most wonderful people. The more you meet, they've got a big heart. And yeah, it's just a great lifestyle. They're happy. It has something to do chemically, makes you happy. Is that correct? I've heard that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you just feel good. You feel good. You look good. You glow. I mean,
we do.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Everybody join us. Join us. Look how gorgeous her arms are. Shoulders. Do that again. Flex. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun having you on. Folks, we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you so much.